Great. Now, welcome everyone to this installment of Conversations with Anglicans. With me today is, he has a familiar face. If you are an Anglican in the United Trinidad and Tobago, but I would still give him an opportunity to introduce himself.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
My name is Marc Haynes, and it is a pleasure, Anica, to be a part
Yes,
of this with you
I
this
know
morning.
that, right? Okay, but what do I need? What do I call you? Mr. Haynes, Mark Haynes, Mark,
Mark would be good. Mark is good.
Mark. All right, okay. All
It's
right,
good
that's
to know.
wonderful.
That's okay.
So, Mark, tell us a bit about yourselves, for persons who may not know you, because of course we have an international platform here on
Yes, but yeah, I'm feeling
Anglicans.
a bit nervous now. We have my
No, no,
international.
no, 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 no need to be nervous. You're a natural. So tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Mark Haynes, as I said before. I am, should I say my age? All right, yeah, that's
It's
okay.
up to you.
I'm, I'm 36 years old. I am a lay minister from the parish of St. Mary's in River. I'm also on the Anglican Voice radio program and a few other things I do in my time as well. So,
All
which I
right.
think we'll get more into later.
We certainly will. So, Mark, if you had to describe yourself in 3 words, you only have 3 words. What do you say, and maybe tell us why?
All right. First thing I would say, shy. People may not believe that with me, that
No, we would.
shy
No, we
is
would
shy.
not, Mark.
Because sometimes getting to know new people is to open up myself is a bit difficult. So that's
Right.
maybe I would say shy for that regard. I'll also say passionate because once I get to do something, my focus is getting it done. And it's not only about me, but also part of a team most times. And the
Lovely.
third word I would say adventurous. I love nature. I love kayaking. I love ziplining. I will still have iffy on the skydiving at some point in time, but
Oh, me
I
too.
know
Gosh, but we'll talk about we'll talk about that. I too like an adventure, but it has to be within limits. Within limits, yes. All right, that's good. So you're shy, you're adventurous, you like nature, those sort of things. But if I may go back a little bit, you mentioned at the beginning that you are a lay minister. So
Mhm.
at what age did you become a lay minister, if you care to share? But more so, why did you make that decision?
I, be, I became a lay minister at the age of 21. I was licensed a lay minister at the age of 21, rather, so that my I had the opportunity to, I was training from around 18, so that I was approached by Mrs. Stouts. She passed away last year, and she asked me if I would be interested. Part of me was like, that is not for old people at the point in time. And I was like, why not? Give it a try. And after a while, I kept with it and I was trained. Father Maxwell, at the beginning, he was a bit stern, but then after I saw the reason why, in terms of he started to be a bit more open on these things after a while during the training. And it was a really, to me, at the beginning, it was a tough experience because it meant a lot of changes. But the fact that there are certain elements of lay ministry, um, for example, such as visiting shut-ins and these things that people tend to not realize and how humbling that experience can be. And you learn a
Mm,
lot of things as well in the process. So
right. Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is that someone would have approached you, right? So
yes,
there was an elder in the church who maybe saw something in you, and they
yeah.
decided that let me approach young Mark, and if you would be interested in this, yeah. But you
Yeah.
answered the call. More importantly, what do you think led you to do that?
To answer the call,
Yeah.
yes. To answer the call, I was at that point in time at a um, point in my life where I was wondering what next in my spiritual journey. Um,
Nice.
a few years before that, I did the Happening Retreat, and that led me or ignited in me a spiritual spark that made me want
Nice.
more. You know, so for those few years in between, before I was approached, I tried a number of things. I was part of the parish representative, the youth representative at that point in time, for what was then known as the Call to Be radio program for the St.
Okay.
Mary's and sometimes other parishes in the region. And then I was gradually groomed. I don't know, it's probably my parents. I'd like to say thanks to them because they guided
Great.
me and pushed. And I wouldn't say pushed, they guided me on
Encouraged
this
you?
path.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. But in addition to that, I guess you also grew up in the church, and so you were surrounded by, all these things that were happening. Yes? Said that ignited in you a desire to grow and to learn and deepen your
Yes.
relationship. Yes?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Wonderful,
Um,
wonderful. So now, would you recommend lay ministry to other young persons, and in particular, young men? Because feel a certain way about young men
yes.
in society. Would this be something that you would recommend someone to try or to get involved
Yes.
with?
It would actually. Lay ministry is one of the most humbling ministries there are. There because there is, sorry, primarily because a lot of people see the part in the church aspect of it. But I can't speak for many other parishes, but I can speak for St. Mary's and Tacarigua. Lay ministers have a significant role. Lay ministers lead services in some churches sometimes. Lay ministers, we visit the sick. We have special
Hmm.
assignments by the priest sometimes. So we help the deacons, we help the priests. Our role, the role and responsibility, it teaches that leadership, but yet still it also teaches you that servant leadership as well in it. So that you are not called to be haughty. You are basically, you serve in the background, and
Wow.
it also, as men specifically, it teaches you that, hey, here's what, not because you're a man and you're a leader means you have to be rough. You have to be aggressive in getting things done. It teaches you that humble aspect of motivation, that humble aspect um, of teaching others, of mentorship and all these things. So that yes, I would certainly recommend it for young men to get into the ministry as well.
You're speaking to my heart, Mark. I love it. All right. You mentioned at the start that you're involved in several things. So in addition, I'm sorry, to being a lay minister, you
Mhm.
are also in radio ministry. But do you like work elsewhere, Mark?
Yes, I actually do. I am
Right.
a firefighter by profession. I've been a firefighter since 2013, and
Ah,
it is a lovely job. It is beautiful. Many people wish they are firefighters.
all right. Okay.
Um,
Easy, easy now, Mark.
I mean, it's the best job in the world.
Right. Yes.
But in addition to firefighting, I'm also a part of two businesses, of which I own.
Okay, wait,
One
wait, wait.
is
Okay, hold up, Mark. So you're saving spiritual lives on one end, right? You're saving some human lives, maybe firefighters, on the other end. And you also have two businesses?
yes, I do.
Right.
Um, yes, one of my businesses is it came about with a passion. Four of us, four young Anglicans, came together and we formed a company, well, Travis Events Limited,
Oh,
which we
oh,
do
oh, I see
tripping.
the not so subtle promo.
No, no, actually, I just threw something on this morning,
Right, and it
just
happened, it
you know,
happened to be a Traverse Events
yeah,
Limited shirts.
just
Yes,
happened to
of
be.
course, yes.
But really and truly, that came about where we were liming a day, we went kayaking actually, and we were like, hey, maybe we should do. And when it put things on social media, everybody wants to be a part. So you're like, let's try this as a business, and it works really well. Um, of course, COVID came and business slowed down in that aspect. And then I also founded the company, TRMT Consultancy, which
Yes.
stands for Tomorrow's Reality Made Today, which does business registration and business startup and all of these things too. So, yeah.
Okay. So, Mark, we have to ask, how do you balance all of this? You're wearing like so many hats, and I also happen to know that you're involved in some other things, right?
Yes, it's difficult. Um, Sometimes it's to me, I look at it as the personal aspect of Mark. Mark's personal life sometimes gets sacrificed, but I like to look towards developing myself for the future so that sometimes we tend to so focus on present goals and present achievements that we forget that at one day we will get old. Um, I I have the time now because I don't have any children. So and so that aspect of it, I don't have that dedication to that right now. But these
Okay.
physical, my biological children, because there are some
Right.
of them in age who I am trying to keep mentoring and guide as well too in the process. So
Beautiful. Yes.
finding time is once you believe, and that's why I said passionate is something that I use to describe myself. Because once you're passionate about something and you put it to God, you'll find you'll create that opportunity for you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So he is giving you the strength that clearly
Yes,
you need to get all of this done.
yes. Yeah, some nights you're extremely tired, but
Of
hey, you get it done.
Of
You
course,
know?
of course. With your passion, though, I understand. Even if you're tired, you kind of
Yeah.
propel
Yes.
to go on. Yeah. Wow, that's wonderful. Building your future, Mark. We love it. We love it. You mentioned a bit about the ongoing pandemic. So how has that affected you personally, perhaps in your lay ministry, and how have you been coping with that?
The pandemic affected me differently with the different hats I'm wearing.
Right.
As a firefighter, I am presently in the administration aspect of the fire service, which meant a lot more responsibility and work on that aspect. Um, as a lay minister, it affected me because I miss being able to go and see my shut-ins. I miss being able to
Aw,
be visit. But
right.
I know it is physically in their best interest. I
Yes.
can't be over and render whatever.
Yes.
So, um, and me as a personally, I it caused some life changes. I like restaurants and these nice things as well. So yes,
Hmm.
I do squeeze in time for these things too. But because I understand it took me that hey Mark, you could cook. So you can make a lot of these things, so you just have to make do and so sometimes it's either pop in and get something or you cook and
Okay.
make what you make. But all in all, I believe that the pandemic has taught us a lot of lessons. So it's up
Right.
to us to open up ourselves to learn and change our lives. Of course, that's a goal.
Lovely. Gosh, Mark. I mean, every time you speak, it's businesses, you're cooking, you're serving in the community. Check. Just take this here, man. Good
No,
job, good job. But I mean, we've known each other for a little while now, and one of the things
yes,
I admire about you is, your ambition and your drive, and you always seem to have as much energy. I mean, people talk about me, but you really seem to have energy to do all these things, and you really do it, as you mentioned earlier, with a passion. And I always think that that's quite admirable. And you're also very, very humble with it too,
yes,
interviews like this.
yes, because
Yeah.
the only thing we got to remember is we are not serving ourselves. And once we remember we are serving God in everything we do, that will help us to get even better. So that's the way I look.
Good, good. Um, in light of, again, our current circumstance, what is there anything you would particularly like to see done, maybe in the church or in, our country? I mean, the times that we are in now, they're unprecedented. Many of us, at least in our generation, has not experienced something like this. So it's the pandemic, it's, racial tension. We're seeing a lot of, issues coming to the fore in society. Is there anything perhaps you would want to see done differently, or, anything, maybe some initiative being taken, whether it's in the church or in the country, really, at this time?
My will go back on policy in the church. I believe that sometimes we tend to be reactive rather than proactive. And I think that slows down our ability to reach others in the community. So that pandemic would have taught us, or forced us rather, as a church to adapt, for example, technology. Because many of us would have, for example, this medium we have. These are
Yes.
things that I believe we should have embraced long time, but because of our lack of interaction, or because of social distancing and being safe, it called us in our human nature to be able to want to reach out to each other. And stuff like this, I realize I applaud the church with the services and all these things. I'm still concerned about, however, the rural communities who cannot have access to these media. So we have, for example, like Toko, we have Santa Flora, and we have a lot of these distant churches that may not necessarily have the technology or the resources available to reach out
Right.
as they would like. So that is something I would like to see. We help them a bit more in that aspect.
Right. So reaching out further, I guess,
Yeah,
to see how we can best minister to people.
yeah.
Yeah. Food, food for thought. Maybe you could have a conversation with the bishop and the NC. See what,
Pray to
what
the
we can
mission
work
they
out.
would.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So well, thanks for sharing that with us. I mean, sometimes we take for granted, the things that we do and the things that we have available to us. And it's always important for us to remember those who may not be, as fortunate or may not have the wherewithal, to access even services, for example. All right. So now we're getting into a bit more about you, Marc Haynes. So tell us, what's your favorite Bible verse?
Actually, strange enough, growing up, I always ask myself, what Bible verse can you find that will suit you as an individual? So
Right?
my name being Mark, I mean, it's spelled differently from the Bible, but it's still Mark. Uh, I my birthday is the 6th of November. So I chose Mark 6:11. And that is, if you should
Okay.
enter a town and they do not accept you, you dust your dusty sandals, you dust off of your sandals, and you leave that place. And to me, it served as a mantra in my life personally as well,
Mm-hmm.
in that you may try a lot of things and you may not necessarily be accepted, but that does not mean you have to hold on to that pain and let that hold you back. So you go through
Right.
it, you experience it, and if it doesn't work out, you dust it off, you get up, dust yourself off, and you move on. So that's what that
I
means to
love it. I was thinking you were just going to recite a verse for me. Thought behind it. It was important for you to get something that
me. Yeah,
resonated with you. Lovely,
yeah.
lovely, lovely. Okay, so that was the Bible verse. What's your favorite hymn or folk song? When you hear it, it gets you moving.
Actually, before before I worked at the assistant office, my favorite hymn was Majesty,
Yes.
primarily because of happening, right? Then when I worked there with Bishop Best, and now I did not like using my hymn books. I did not like singing all of these things before. I still don't like singing much, but I sing because I worship God. And
Okay.
there was one hymn in our CPWI, it is hymn 525, Just a Closer Walk with Thee. And for some reason, I heard the hymn the first time at one of the weekly services with Bishop Bess. And I was like, wow, this hymn, it speaks volumes to me.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of that path with God, it is like basically you wanting that closeness, that relationship with God, even upon and beyond death. So it's like, wow, this hymn is really deep. So that is one of the hymns, if not my favorite hymn, that I could call to mind close.
Great. I don't think you get away, no. I want a little, give me a little line of chorus, something, Mark.
All these things now, and, you know. But you see, I'm not blessed like some of our young members, like
That's okay. That it's not about perfection, all right? Sing from the heart, as they say. Yes?
maybe you see, I wasn't prepared for the second part, but let me find the background
Man.
music, you know. But the hymn goes something like this. Just a closer walk with thee. And take Jesus. See, I need to get my hymn book
You're
again.
almost there. You have it, you have it, you have it.
How about I get the words while we talk here that I was singing for you before we finish?
All right. Okay, I'm coming back to that too. Don't think I'm forgetting you.
You know?
All right. I,
But I
while
can't
you
get it to you,
while you
you
look
know?
for the words,
Yes.
what about your favorite pastime? I mean, you mentioned a lot of things that you like to do. Is it cooking? Is it being outdoors? Would you, if you had to choose one, what would be, the thing that you immediately gravitate towards?
Kayaking. Um,
Yeah.
yes. Um, is that a funny story with how I started kayaking? I had a
Yes.
friend who asked me for years to go kayaking, and I was like, no, 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 no. And then for some reason that evening, I was extremely tired, and just to shut them up, I said, okay, we'll think about next week, and I forgot about that. And the group
Right.
held me to that, and I went. I was terrified at first because I'm like, I can't swim. I went out in the middle of the ocean, hiking,
Oh
whatever.
my goodness.
When I went out, it was so peaceful.
Okay.
One of the greatest things I like to do when kayaking, I normally go before sun rises because I do like to kayak in the hot sun. So we'll reach there like around 6:30. So the sun
Okay,
will
that's
meet us in the
understandable.
water. And the serenity of you kayak in the middle of the water and you could just lie down in the kayak and be at peace. There is no, because of my busy lifestyle, that moment,
Mm.
there's no cell phone, there is nobody around me to do this, do that. It's just me. You breathe. I love the sea. So being able to be there by myself in the middle of the sea, is a beautiful experience. So yeah.
Hey. Well, you really did say you're a man of adventure, so that would certainly be one of them. All right. What is one app or thing that you, Mark Haynes, cannot live without?
Wow. You see, I'm not sure I've tracked all these questions. Um, one app that I have depended on a lot lately would be YouTube. I believe in the University of YouTube a lot. That basically YouTube helps me in a lot of spheres. I to get used to new technology, the fastest way sometimes YouTube. Sometimes if hey, how do I cook this again? YouTube. If something
Right.
is broken, YouTube.
Yes.
So for me,
Right.
YouTube is very, and it also guides me in terms of like random interviews and getting hymns that you may not necessarily think you can sing. You know, um,
Ah.
just putting that out there.
Just, yeah, I know. I know, I got it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, great. So would you say then you have a BA, a Bachelor of Arts in YouTube, or are you at the
I
master's
wouldn't say I'm
level?
masters yet,
Uh,
you know, but I'm getting there,
yeah, it's
by, yeah,
okay.
if the founder of YouTube just decides right now, Mark Haynes, thanks for listening to this interview, we want to hire you, sure, no
Right.
problem. I'll
Okay.
be,
Okay. I
you
got it.
know,
I
yeah,
got it.
yeah, yeah.
Mark, you seem like a real easygoing kind of guy. Do you have any pet peeves, like things that just, ugh, like,
One of my pet peeves is time. Um, because of how I see the day, 24 hours in a day.
Right.
And sometimes people, you tell them, for example, and this is something that really irritates me personally, is, hey, I'm 5 minutes away. And then when you reach at 5 minutes, your phone just ringing and nobody answers. And then you're like, yo, I said 5 minutes, though I'm here, those things. But um,
Right.
I'm learning to deal with
Okay.
it.
Right.
It's a work in
Right.
progress. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As a someone who has said that 5 minutes before, I'm learning too. I am to
So
be
yeah.
better. All right. Describe a moment in your life, Mark, that you felt quite proud of yourself or quite accomplished. I mean, again, you have quite a bit of things on your plate, but if you
Yes.
reflect on one moment that really, you say, hey, I did that, you really felt good about yourself. What would that be?
That would be the day of my passing out as a firefighter. Um, the level of training that I did to become a firefighter, I never did that. I never had to endure that before. So the fact that I went through 4.5 months of rigorous training, and here we are at the parade, and there was one particular moment at the passing out ceremony where we slow march, where we form an arch, and the instructors who drill us for the past how many months, um, they do a slow march and we are saluted by them at that point in time. Now, that arch represents that you have completed that journey and that you are successful. And for any firefighter that would have experienced that, it meant that you have ended that stage, but you have entered another journey. And to me, that moment will continue to stick with me because you have, of
Nice.
course, your family, your friends, everybody who would have been there to see and witness this moment with you. So that moment, it continues to stick with me.
Lovely, lovely. All right. A perfect day, Mark. If you had, your way and you could dictate just a perfect day in the life of Mark, what would that look like?
All right, so first thing first, it will start off with kayaking at 6:30 in the morning.
Of course, of course, of course.
And after you finish kayak for a while, you get ready, you take a drive up to Maracas Beach, right?
Mm,
Now, on the way to Maracas Beach, you need to stop around the savannah first to get some
okay,
coconut water by the savannah, you
right,
know? So you get some, you're asking for the cold nuts, not the
right.
one, the cold ones. So you have enough
Okay,
cold coconut water. This is, of course, with your close friends and stuff, so when you're joining the day together.
okay. All right, we
You
get it. Yes,
take
love
that
it.
drive up and you have, I won't call the name right now, but you go to my favorite bacon shark place spot.
Right,
You know?
right.
So, and then after you go there, you relax, you get time, you eat your bacon shark, you have your food, whatever, relaxation line with your friends,
Yes.
and you just enjoy just being with close people and being with God. Because I think
Nice.
spiritual life sometimes is that we so focus on the work of the church that we forget that God created all of these things for us to enjoy too. And
Lovely.
being in nature is also good because one of my favorite places to be, but kind of hard to go from Chagaramas to Toko is the Toko Lighthouse.
Okay.
So it is the most peaceful place apart from kayaking they could go to.
Right, right. Okay. But I mean, it's your perfect day, so you can do whatever you want.
It's true, right? you know,
All
but until
right.
the restrictions are over, hey, I could do
Yes.
it.
Yeah. You'll have to put a picture of the lighthouse on your screensaver and look at that.
But you're invited for that day of Lyman, right, Anica?
Sure,
Just so
of
you know,
course. I knew that. When you said friends and family, I mean, naturally, I was there. Come
You
on.
know, I can pick you up on the way down to kayaking too if you like. That's what
You would have to. You would have to do that because that's the only way I'm going. All right, Mark. Okay. So this is the really fun. I mean, we're having fun all the while, but this is the real fun segment, right? You ready? Ready? Okay, great. So, Mark, you have to pick. I'm giving you two options, and you have to pick one of the two, right? No more than 5 seconds, Mark. Don't study it too. Don't think too hard on it.
Right.
You ready? Okay.
Ready.
Stretch. Do what you have to do. All right. Deep breath. Okay. Here we go.
Right.
Doubles or roti?
Roti. That.
You don't like doubles? Some against doubles.
I love doubles.
Yeah.
I love doubles.
Right.
But now I'll give them some free promo here because it's my favorite roti place, right?
Right.
See, I've good Juman's roti, right? And literally, it's like 2 minutes away from where I live in walking.
Okay. But, right. See.
I love a good roti.
You love a good roti. Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. We're going again. You put in mango chutney or slide pepper?
No, I don't eat pepper, girl.
No pepper? Slight.
Girl. Afraid pepper.
You're afraid.
Adventurous with many things except pepper.
But not pepper. And you know, some people don't really know the meaning of slight, huh? That's another.
Yeah. That's my reason why I create pepper. I've had a lot of bad experiences with pepper.
Says, okay. We'll save that for next interview. All right. This one might be easy. Fire officer or police officer?
Of course, fire, you know.
Boy, the TTPS protecting and serving too.
We all do our parts. But, you know, I just have to say, leaving up to the people on Independence Day parade, when we march through the streets, that's all I'm going to say.
Mark, you ain't getting me in trouble, you know. I just asking the questions, all right? Okay, family or good friends?
God, this one hard, boy.
I know, but quick is the word. Word, you had to choose.
I was going to say family. I'll have to say family.
All right, yeah. Fair enough. Trinidad or Tobago?
Okay, I love Tobago.
Me, you're talking to. I mean. So you're choosing that?
Trinidadians listening, I love everybody in Trinidad.
Right.
Tobago, it just have, wow. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, no problem. No. Northeast region or Northwest region?
Just now. What?
I had to get
always close by.
I had to slide it tonight again. It's on the record.
You know.
But here's the next one. Northwest region or South region? Let me hear you.
Yeah, this will get me in trouble.
Let me hear you.
All right, I will say.
Hello. 5 seconds. I find you taking too long.
I just say Northwest. Because I said somebody will get vexed.
Right. Yeah, that's okay. So the South people vexed. That's all right. That's okay. It's a game. They'll understand. All right. TRMT Consultancy or Traverse Entertainment Limited. Events, I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I'm mixing up. Traverse Events Limited. Talk to me. 5 seconds, Mark.
I want to say Traverse because Traverse comes like you're having fun while you're working. So,
okay. All right. That's all right. That's okay. All right. And the last one, worshiping online or worshiping in person?
Worshiping in person.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I was on the altar and I watched it. That was the last time we had church before the closers and the thing again. Yes. And I was watching the altar for the Lord's Prayer. And I remember normally before COVID, when they used to look from the altar to the congregation and they seeing everybody's hands united and raised. And now we're seeing everybody separated. It just breaks my heart.
I mean, we're joined together, but it's different, you know? Yeah.
For the fellowship. So I could see Anica face to face.
You know? Right. I know. And that means so much to you, right?
Yes. Of course, you know.
Oh, good, Mark. This has been wonderful. I mean, in closing, any words you would want to share, words of inspiration, rather, that you would want to share with, I'm going to say people generally, but in particular, our young men, because, you are a beautiful example of that, of a really conscientious young man who is of service to others. So any words of inspiration you'd like to share?
What I would like to say is that do not do not look to your left or your right when making decisions.
Yes.
Make a decision because you as an individual make that decision. When you decide to walk with God, it is your decision, not anybody
Nice.
else. So when
Nice.
you decide whatever ministry God is calling you for, He's not calling your friend to the left or to the right, He's calling you. So that in so doing, when you make a decision, do it prayerfully, reflect, and let God be that guide, not anybody else.
Okay, great. In closing, Mr. Haynes, I did not forget you and your verse. So let's hear it. You make me warm up before, now I have to warm up again.
All right, so I'll sing it now. One verse,
Yes,
right?
just one verse, one verse.
Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Jesus is my plea. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be.
Love it. Marc Haynes, thank you very much for joining us. I want to thank you for all that you do as well. And I pray that God continues to bless you in every sphere of life, in your business, your ministry, and personally. Yes?
And thank you for having me. And it's a
Oh,
pleasure.
it was, yes, it was also my pleasure being here with you. And so God bless you.
God bless you too. And to remember, be safe, you and everyone else who will be
Yes,
listening.
yes. Follow the protocols and be safe, everyone. Yes.
Yes. All right.
Wonderful.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Have a lovely day.
You too. God bless.
God bless. Bye.